Alright, so we're going to get started on Revit 2019 Demo 18, and this lecture is all about basic stairs in Revit. So we're going to continue where we left off from Demo 17. We're going to go into Level 1. We're going to hide our property line that's from the last lecture, and we're going to tab select the floors and hide those as well. And we're going to get started by creating stairs. So we're going to go to Architecture, Stair, and under Stair you're going to notice that we're in create stair mode. So we're creating a run. We're going to create a set of straight stairs. Now notice the type of stairs are assembled stairs with a 7-inch max, riser, 11-inch tread. From here we're going to go into edit type. Under the type you'll notice that we have 7-inch, 11-inch, and 3 feet. All of these are associated to calculation rules, and you can use this stair calculator if you're having a hard time calculating the number of treads per slope. I don't recommend that because the general standard to code is 7 to 11, so we're going to stick to those to stay to code. And we're going to begin by sketching a straight run of stairs with an actual run width of 3 feet, and the run is set to center. So you'll notice the center justification as I click from left to right, and as I continue to drag my mouse, it creates a series of risers. We want to get to a point to where there's 0 remaining, and so once there's 0 remaining, we'll hit finish. We're going to go to View, 3D, and in 3D you'll notice that I have a set of stairs. You'll also notice that that updates my south view as well as my west view. Sorry, not west, east view as well. So we're going to go back into level 1, and now we're going to delete these stairs, and we're going to create a new set. We're going to create a U-shaped staircase. So we're going to hit stair, and we're going to start by changing the run width to 4 feet. And you'll notice our base level set to 1, top level set to 2, and we're going to draw 9 risers. Actually, we'll go to 11 risers, and we're going to kind of drag our mouse down. And just somewhere in space, you'll notice that this green line is stretching. We'll continue by drawing. Now you'll notice that it starts to create a landing. So I'm just going to continue up, and it stops at 0 remaining. So I'm going to move these stairs just so that they're in space. And that didn't affect anything. But you'll notice that my run width is set to 4 feet automatically, and that it drew a set of U-shaped stairs. So I can hit finish mode, go to View, 3D, and just like the last one, it's created a set of 3-dimensional stairs. So we'll go into the east view, take a look at those stairs. You'll notice just like the last one, it goes from level 1 to level 2, and then from the south elevation, here's those as well. Now what we can do, in 2019 they've updated the stairs, and so what this means is that rather than editing the sketch of the stairs from here, you're just going to edit the stairs. So before we can get started on editing the sketch, you actually have to convert these. So you'll notice right here, convert to sketch-based, converts a common run or landing to a custom component for sketch edit capability. Custom components must be modified manually. For example, if the position of the run changes, the shape of the custom landing will not change automatically. So what we're going to do is go ahead and convert each one of these. And you'll notice that an error comes up that says converting an automatic landing or a run component to a custom sketch-based component is irreversible. You can edit the sketch of a custom component. So we're just going to go through and adjust each one of these to convert them. Inside of the lecture notes that I've provided, it has it based on old standards, so this will be updated. But in here, if we convert these, we'll get the same mode to where now I can edit the sketch of the stairs. I can also flip the direction of the stairs, and when I hit finish and view that in 3D, you'll notice that it flips that direction. Now it does get a little tricky when you modify these. So if you select the staircase, edit the stairs, we'll flip this back to the way that I had it, and what we'll begin by doing is we will select this staircase down below and edit this sketch. And I'm going to pull the boundary up at a 15-degree mark here, and pull this one down at a 10-degree mark here. And then I'm going to use my align command, which is AL, and I'm going to do a multiple alignment. I'm going to select what I want to align to, and I'm going to go through and click each of the points. This locks in the way, so I'm going to zoom in and notice that it's aligning the stairs properly. And then I'm going to finish the command by hitting escape twice, AL again, select the new alignment line, select each point, and get each of those in there. I can also, I can only select by point, so I can't window select in this particular mode. I can only select by point. And so those are all adjusted, and we're going to hit finish. Notice that when I finish it, it's created this funky staircase. Now if I finish it again and view this in 3D, you'll notice that my stairs have a custom value associated to them. So it makes it really easy to adjust the stair layout. Now another thing we can do in level 1 is we can select the stairs. We want to make sure not to select the railing because the railing is something different, but we can adjust the value again. We can edit the stairs, and I can actually pull this value down. Now, one thing to note is that because we've converted it to sketch, it's not going to pull this as well. So we would actually have to edit both sketches. So I'm going to edit this sketch first, and I'm going to pull this value down to where I want it to be. And then I'm going to hit finish, and I'm going to move this value down to the end. And you'll notice that it updated. So the value has been updated. So we're going to hit finish. We're going to view it in 3D. This portion is missing, and that's where things can get a little funky when you're editing stairs. So things to adjust and modify or to anticipate those errors. And so if I move this back to the correct spot, I'll have that boundary updated. I can also update this boundary. And I believe what's happening here is if I edit this boundary here, the sketch, there's this little portion. And if I pull this all the way across and hit finish, it updates that value. So the stair geometry is fixed. So now if I finish, view that in 3D, that stair's been updated. So they're very dynamic of what you can do with stairs. So we've gone into those different areas. We've edited our stairs footprint. We now want to delete the 2 high horizontal green lines on the upper stair. So if I go up to level 1, edit this sketch of the stair, or edit the stairs, come into here and edit this sketch, I can delete these 2 boundary lines, or I can delete this boundary line. Or sorry, that's not a boundary line. This one right here is a riser, and this green one is the boundary line. So I can actually delete both boundary lines and redraw them from the top. And I can do the same 15 degrees. In this case, I'm going to go 10 degrees on the inside, and we'll go 15 degrees on the outside. So we'll go 15, and I'm just kind of snapping to that endpoint. I'm going to use my align command again, multiple alignment, and I'm going to go through and, oops, I selected it incorrectly. Make sure you select just the point. And so I'm going to go through and just select those points. And then I'm going to hit escape twice, AL, select, point to point, selected the wrong one, AL, select, point to point to point to point. And you'll make mistakes with it, but it's fairly easy to get back into the command. So when we hit finish edit mode, you'll notice that that updates the staircase as well. But I also want to edit that again because I want to change the riser. So I want the riser to be sort of this like platform. So we're going to do something like this. And we're going to hit finish. And you're going to notice that it says invalid sketch can't create run by the sketch. The reason for that is because this center stair path doesn't extend to the end. And it has to extend to the end in order to create that. So when I hit finish, we're still getting the error. Oh, that's my mistake. I drew this as a boundary line. Make sure that if you draw something as a boundary line that's supposed to be a riser, that it's set up as a riser. So I deleted that boundary line. I'm creating the riser. I'm going to go from start point to start point, and I'm going to finish. I believe this can still be back, so let's just drag it back and see what happens. We're going to hit finish. It can't. Stair path should connect. So all I'm doing right now is I'm reading the error messages that pop up. That's critical. Don't freak out when one of these pops up. Just simply read it. Invalid stair path. Stair path should connect both start and end riser and cross all other risers. So as stated before, this does need to connect to that other riser. Now when I hit finish, it completes, and I'll hit finish again, and we'll go to view 3D. And so I made some typical normal user mistakes that each one of you will probably make throughout the creation of stairs. And you'll notice that my riser's been created and I have that sort of platform up there. I also have this sort of boundary line. Now, I may not want that, but in this particular case, that's the tread that's showing up. So we can actually remove a riser, and let's just see what happens here. We're getting an error. So let's go to level 1. We're going to edit the sketch again, or edit the stairs, edit the boundary. We have our riser in place. It's showing us that top riser bar. So if I hit finish, view it in 3D, you'll notice that it's going up to the next step. So we actually do want this, because what's going to happen is this finishes at level 2. So you'll see this and you'll be like, well, why do I have that? Well, if you go to level 2, and if you were to draw, say, a floor on level 2, an architectural floor, you could select this boundary and start drawing some additional landing. And what's going to happen when you finish, so we're going to view 3D, it's going to fit perfectly. So you have a riser there. And so that's the point. You don't want to delete that, because if you delete that, it's just going to be the floor. So just understand that that's part of your stair calculation. So it creates a step there. Now that's also not to code, so you're best off just leaving it to where it ends. But it's one way to create a unique situation or a unique scenario. So we've edited the stair footprints. We viewed it in 3D. We're now going to adjust the riser shape again. So we're going to put it back to where it was. So I'm going to delete this floor. I'm going to edit the stairs and go back to level 2 this time. And I'm going to edit the sketch here. And I want to put this back to where it was. So I'm going to draw a riser and not a boundary. So pay attention to what you're selecting up here. Make sure your line is black and not blue, or green, sorry. The center stair path will end at this riser. So you have your center stair path, which is that bluish color when you highlight it, and your ending riser, as well as your 2 boundaries. So we're going to hit finish, and you'll notice my arrow's in place. Now what's unique is I can still flip this. So if I hit finish, view it in 3D, I flip the orientation of the stairs. So that's something to pay attention to as well. And as I make these changes, it's updating my elevation views, and it's maintaining that height up to level 2. So those are the steps for stairs. Now let's get into railings a little bit. The railing can be changed or deleted by section. So right here, there's a series of different sections. So if I view it in 3D, you'll notice there's an interior section and an exterior section. You could delete these, but I don't advise doing that. So let's undo that twice. You can change the elements of in which show up here. So rather than using a handrail rectangular, you could change it to a guardrail pipe, and it'll update. I'm getting this error or warning that says the rail is not continuous. Breaks in the rail usually occur at sharply angled transitions. To fix the problem, try changing the transition style in the rail type properties, or modify the railing path at the transition. So it's freaking out about that funky angle there. And that's okay, because it looks like it's drawing it actually correctly. And then I'll adjust this one to also be that pipe guardrail. Same thing, there's a warning, but that's fine, because it's actually drawing it correctly, so I'm not going to worry about it. And you'll notice that those as well, because of Revit being the database, are updating those views. So these are just the out-of-the-box railings, but you can make your own or get them pre-made. There's a series of sites that have railings that you can download, so if you want glass railings, you can get glass railings, or you could just simply create your own. So we could actually edit the path of this as well. So if I go into level 1, you'll notice that this path is being followed along here. So if I wanted the path to be slightly shorter, I could make it shorter, and it'll adjust that railing. So that would be in the situation if your stairs did something unique and you needed to adjust them so that they weren't following the whole length of the stairs. That would help out quite a bit. So one thing we could also do is just delete this railing, and you'll notice that this arrow continues from there. So if I view this in 3D, I'm missing that railing there. This would be unique if I had, say, a wall here and I don't need a railing there, then I could do that. Now what we're going to do is add the railing back in that was left out. Now under level 1, if I come up to architecture railing and I sketch a path, and if I just draw this path along this edge and align that path to where the alignment of the last path was, I can associate that. Now when I hit finish, what you're going to notice is that the railing is actually on level 1. That's because you assigned it to that. So we didn't have a host. It specifies the building element to host the railing, such as a floor, ramp, or stair. As an alternative, you can add railings as freestanding components to levels. Click in the drawing area to start drawing the railing. Now, what we're going to do is attempt to pick the new host of stairs. And once we've done that, it's attach that to the correct location. So we can then change that to pipe, and now we have the proper railing on there. The only problem is that these are disconnected. Now that may be okay, and that may be what you're looking for, but let's say you want the railing to continue down the stairs. What we can do is delete this railing, edit the path again, go back to level 1, pick a line, pick this edge. You'll notice that the arrows are in place. We'll hit finish, and the rail is continuous and it continues on. We still got that error, but it's continued on and up. So that's how you can host and select a path based on a railing that you've placed, and it helps finish that railing out. So in this lecture, you've learned how to create straight and U-shaped stairs, change the shape of the stairs, recognize stairs have rules that can be changed, how to edit the railing, and place a railing on a flat surface. Go ahead and save this file as project revit2019demo18, and I will see you in the next lecture.